Are you a construction business owner who's somewhere between $1 million and $5 million a year? Maybe you've built something solid, you've got a good reputation, you have a small team, and you've got steady work. But you're wondering, why do some contractors and builders grow to $10 million in revenue and beyond, while some stay stuck or even go backwards? Why can some people take a 2-week vacation? Why can some business owners step away from their business while some people can't even unplug for 2 hours? Why can some businesses scale with confidence while others just flame out or burn out? Well, here's the truth. If you're trying to scale your business to $10 million and you're still thinking like a builder, you're going to hit a wall. Or worse, you're going to grow yourself straight into a mess that you can't control. And today I'm going to walk you through, how does a $10 million CEO think differently than a typical builder? And how you can start shifting your thinking right now. Because if you're waiting until your business grows to start thinking like a CEO, then you're going to be behind the 8 ball. Hey, you're listening to the Construction Leading Edge podcast from constructionleadingedge.com, where it's all about systematizing your construction business to eliminate chaos and maximize profit, freedom, and impact. My name is Todd Dawalt. I'm the founder. And since 2014, when I started this podcast, my team and I have helped over 400 construction companies eliminate chaos, grow their profits, and grow their team. So let's jump into it. Let's talk about the 5 mindset shifts of a $10 million a year construction business owner. How do CEOs of a $10 million a year business think differently? Does it have anything to do with the way they think? When do they get started? How does the builder mindset actually get in the way? And how can what got you here prevent you from getting to the next stage? So I'm going to run through just a handful of these mindset shifts. I've had the pleasure of working with quite a few construction business owners, and we've helped them scale from $5 million to $15 million in annual revenue, or from $5 million to $10 million in annual revenue. We've worked with several who are in the $20 to $30 million annual revenue range, and then some even beyond that. And I've noticed that it's not random. You've probably noticed there are some businesses that scale successfully. There are some that stagnate. They get to a certain point and it's like they hit a wall. And then there are some businesses that fail. We're all familiar with the failure statistics of construction businesses, how few actually survive past 5 years. And here's what I've learned. After coaching and consulting with somewhere between 800 and 1,000 construction businesses, and having spent the past 27 years managing construction projects and teams and companies, here's what I found out. Those companies that scale successfully, it's not random. They are designed to scale. The companies that stagnate, they get to a certain point and they hit the wall that they just can't seem to get by. It's because they're designed to stagnate. And unfortunately, those companies that fail, they are designed to fail unintentionally. Like the story that I learned back when I was in college, there's a skyscraper in New York City. It's the Citicorp or the Citibank building. And it's this beautiful building. It's actually if you ever watched the show Suits, it shows up in the show Suits. And it's an interesting design. But long story short, it was designed by this world famous architect. They built this building and it's, 60, 70, 80 stories tall. And an engineering student did a study on it and found that in a certain wind condition, if the wind came from a certain direction, that this skyscraper would actually fail. And the architect at first said, that's ridiculous. Architects don't make mistakes. And they probably adjusted their funny glasses. They walked their little dog around the next job site like all architects do. But when they got back and actually looked at it, they found out that this engineering student was correct, that the building was in fact designed to fail unintentionally. So they went to work in the secret of night and they repaired this building that was occupied because it was designed to fail. And unfortunately, a lot of construction businesses are designed to fail unintentionally. Doesn't happen randomly. Companies don't fail randomly for the most part. They don't stagnate randomly, and they certainly don't scale randomly. And they certainly don't scale in spite of the mindset of the CEO. So let's talk about some of the mindset differences. how do $10 million CEOs think differently? Okay, so number one is the shift from firefighting to forecasting. Okay, the builder thinks I fix problems when they happen. Okay, the builder has this job site mentality. They're used to living life in the projects, and they just think about the projects. And they want to put on their firefighter hat, and they fix problems when they happen. They actually pride themselves on fixing problems. They pride themselves on their ability to react and play whack-a-mole faster and faster and solve more problems. The CEO mindset is I design systems to prevent problems before they happen. Instead of being the firefighter, they're into fire prevention. Instead of getting better at playing whack-a-mole, they are into mole eradication. Let's eliminate the moles altogether. So the CEO mindset is I design systems to prevent problems before they happen. Okay. So if you're always reacting, if you're constantly firefighting, if you were to audit your week and you're spending over 50% of your time responding and reacting to problems, putting out fires, then you're not running the business is running you. And if you attempt to scale the business like that, reactivity just turns into chaos. And frankly, you won't be able to grow the business if you are spending half your time putting out fires and you try to scale the business. Then you won't have time to think strategically, and all of your time will very quickly be consumed with dealing with problems. The key mindset of the CEO is I design systems to prevent problems before they happen. Number two is the shift from being the hub, being the gear in the machine, to building a machine. Okay. Let's say you went to a construction business owner's office and they had the builder mindset, and you walked in and you saw this machine sitting in the middle of their office. And this machine was their business. It had inputs coming in like time, contracts, labor, materials, information. And then it ran through this machine, and that machine spit out profit and projects and customer satisfaction and things like that. If that machine was their business, if you opened up the hatch on the side, you would find a builder in the middle of the machine. They are a cog in the machine because they are an integral part of that machine. That's the way they think, is the business runs around me. It's designed around me. I am part of the business. The way the CEO thinks, I'm going to be on the outside of this machine. I'm designing this machine to run without me. And their mindset is my team makes the decisions without me. We have clear systems, we have roles and responsibilities, we have a well-designed machine that runs without me. That's a huge mindset shift from the builder who says, I am an integral part of the machine. The CEO says, I'm on the outside designing a machine that runs without me. And this is where businesses begin to be designed to fail or designed to stagnate, when they're designed to run around the business owner. If that's you, if you're listening to this thinking, that's me, I'm in the middle of my machine, what happens if you try to step away for 2 weeks? What happens to your business if something happens to you? If you are incapacitated or you died, what would happen to your business? If it's designed to run around you, there are key parts of the business that would just grind to a halt if something happened to you. So the way CEOs think, they think, I'm designing a machine that will run without me. Hey, it's Todd. We'll get back to the episode in just a minute, but let me ask you something. Have you ever signed a contract and then everything starts to feel a little bit chaotic? Questions fly around like, who's ordering what? When does the job actually start? Is the team ready? Did anybody order this material? Has this been approved yet? Project starts to feel like a fire drill, right? Well, the biggest problem in most construction businesses isn't a lack of effort. It's not the people. It's not the projects. It's not the clients. It's not you. It's the gaps in your process. Gaps where details fall through the cracks, where nobody's sure what to do, who's doing what, when it gets done. And you, the owner, end up filling in all those gaps, right? When there are questions, who they got to call? If there's a problem, it's going to land in your lap. And the biggest gap is pre-construction. And the solution is simple. Nailing the handoff from sales to construction. Nail the handoff from the office to the field. Your projects are like a relay race, and there's a baton that needs to be handed off. Nailing the handoff is a well-designed pre-construction process that closes those gaps, eliminates the chaos, and gives you back control. It gives you back the time so you can work on the business instead of being buried in it. And we can help you build that process. The first step is to book a free business evaluation call with our team. On your business evaluation call, here's what we're going to help you do. Spot the real gaps that are creating the chaos, show you how to nail the handoff and how doing that will put you back in control of your business. We'll even uncover some of the hidden profit that's already in your business. And if it makes sense, we'll talk about how we can help you build a business that runs without you. Click the link in the show notes to schedule your call. Be advised, we only have a few spots available each week, and not everybody qualifies for this call. This is not for everybody. So if you have a wave of work coming at you, or you're planning on growing and hiring people, now's the time to close those gaps with a good pre-construction process. If you're ready to stop reacting and finally take control, this is your next step. Go book your free business evaluation call with my team today. Is shifting from saying yes to everything to building a filter. Okay, let me explain. A lot of builders think growth means taking on more work and saying yes to everything. A lot of builders are obsessed with growth, with top line growth. We need to take on more work. A lot of builder mentality folks have a speech impediment, meaning they can't say no. If somebody comes along with a project that's too small, it's really too far out of their geography, the customer's showing lots of red flags of being a difficult client, the builder says, well, okay, we'll do it, because they say yes to too much. The CEO mindset is more growth means saying no to the wrong work so I can have more capacity and more resources to say yes to the right work. That's how I scale. I scale the right work by saying no to the wrong work. So saying yes to every job that comes along is how you build revenue, maybe, but saying no to the wrong jobs is how you build a profitable business. One of our clients, Mikhail Ganaj, talked about this on one of his podcast interviews, how saying no helped him grow his bottom line and eventually helped him to get his business running 95% autonomously. You can listen to that on episode 281. So a CEO mindset, we're going to get really clear on what we want to say no to, because saying no to the wrong projects frees up resources and energy and manpower and capital to go after the right projects. Number 4 is the builder thinks I focus on building projects. The builder mentality is, I would call it, they're living in the projects. Their life is stuck in the projects, not the housing projects necessarily, but their mindset is project-based. It's sell a project, build a project, close out a project, sell the next project. It's all about projects. And they look at the business as just a way to execute on projects. And they think about scaling the business strictly through the lens of projects. Either get a bigger project, get more projects. And this causes some problems, right? If you're living in the projects, what I've seen in many cases is just a couple of things come to mind. There's this mindset of let's get the project and then we'll figure out how to staff it. There's no sense putting systems in place. There's no sense building bench strength unless we get the work. So let's get the work, let's sell the work, get the contract signed, and then we'll figure it out. And maybe that got you here, got you to a certain point, but that won't get you to the next level, I can assure you. I've seen people try it over and over again. So the builder mentality is all about the projects. The CEO mentality, the CEO mindset is, I build the machine that builds the projects. Okay, it's my job to build the machine, to assemble the team and assemble the systems and processes that build the projects. The CEO doesn't build the projects. They're not involved day to day on projects because that's not their job. I heard a good analogy. A guy said that most millionaires, I think he may have said billionaires, most billionaires are incompetent. And then he went on to explain why. Let's say someone owned a restaurant, a really high-end restaurant. and the chef quit. The owner, the CEO mindset, would say, okay, I have to go find another chef to replace them. The builder mindset would say, yeah, I can cook. I'll just step in and I'll be the chef myself. What does that do? Well, suddenly the business owner is now the chef and they're stuck working in the kitchen 8, 10, 12 hours a day, and nobody's steering the ship. Nobody's making high-level decisions for the restaurant. And the problem is as a builder, you probably think you're competent. You are competent, but that competence is what keeps you stuck, because if you lose a project manager, maybe you say, you know what, I'll just pick it up. I'll just manage this project, or I'll just handle this tough sale, or I'll help push this project through pre-construction because you can do it. And you have to change your mindset to almost a mindset of incompetence, willful incompetence, because it's not your job to do the job of the project manager or the superintendent or the bookkeeper or whatever it is. Your job is to build the machine that builds the projects. So you're not just building houses, you're not just building buildings, you're not just doing underground utility projects, you're not just doing earthwork. You're building a company that will scale. This is where the builder mindset keeps you stuck. This builder mindset got you to where you're at, but you have to abandon that builder mindset to get to the next level. This is a classic case of what got you here won't get you there. So the next one, number 5, is going from gut feeling to dashboard decisions. I can remember I worked with a gentleman, did some consulting with him, and one day he said to me, he said, Todd, I feel like I'm losing $10,000 a day. And he was just wringing his hands. And I remember seeing him sitting at his desk, just rubbing his head. And Todd, I just feel like I'm losing $10,000 a day. And I said, okay, well, let's take a look at it. What are you basing this on? I just look around and I just know it. I can feel it. Well, he had no data to back that up. No data. He had no P&Ls. He had not seen a P&L ever, because he didn't want to see it. But he was just convinced that he was losing money, and he went on gut feel. He made purchasing decisions based on looking at the bank account balance or maybe gut feel. So the builder mentality believes that he can feel what's going on. They can just sense what's happening with their people, with their projects, with their clients. Their cash flow feels good. The backlog feels good. Customer satisfaction feels good. Employee engagement feels good. They believe that their gut is accurate. There's an old saying from Mark Twain, it ain't what you don't know that hurts you. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so. If you genuinely believe that your gut feel is accurate, you are probably deceiving yourself. Okay. Now, maybe that gut feel got you to a certain point, but a $10 million a year CEO mindset is, I trust data. I look at leading indicators. I trust data, not gut feel. A true CEO doesn't trust their gut because they know their feelings can be up and down. There's a place for intuition, but primarily they make decisions based on data, whereas the builder makes decisions based on gut feel. Experience got you here. Your gut feeling got you here. But having data is going to get you to $10 million. If you can't see what's coming, then you can't lead where you're going. Okay? Do not become a $10 million a year business by accident. Okay? You don't get there by doing more of what got you here. In fact, as we've discussed here, what got you here may actually prevent you from getting to the next stage. It's not a matter of just doing more, working harder, reacting to problems, going by gut feel, needing to be involved in everything. The builder mindset, it will prevent you from growing your business. Okay? If you want to be the CEO of a $10 million a year business, you get there by thinking like the person who runs a $10 million company. Before you get there, it's about taking on the habits and the mindset of a $10 million a year CEO before your annual revenue gets to $10 million a year. Let me ask you this. Maybe you're thinking, I want to own a $10 million a year company. I just feel it. I have this vision. Maybe it's 20 or 30 or $50 million a year. But let me ask you this. When you think about your target revenue, 10 million, 20 million, $50 million in annual revenue, when are you going to start acting like the CEO of that company? When are you going to start acting like the CEO of a $10 million a year company? Are you planning on waiting until you hit $10 million in revenue and then changing? Are you thinking, when my company grows, or if it grows, then I'll have more time to be strategic? When the company gets to $10 million, it'll be more profitable, and then I'll be able to put these things in place. Or one thing I hear a lot is, when I have more time, when I just have a little more time, when things calm down a little bit, then I'll be able to put the systems in place. When things calm down, then I'll be able to assemble that machine. So here's the thing, okay? I've worked with hundreds of construction business owners, and I've seen this one belief, let's call it a delusion. Let's call it what it is. I've seen this one delusion keep people stuck and even put some people in reverse. And the delusion sounds like this: when my business grows, then I'll change how I lead. When my business grows to $10 million, then I'll start to act like a $10 million a year CEO. It's the when-then fallacy. And it's a trap. Hey, it's Todd. We'll get back to the episode in just a minute. If you're thinking about growing your construction business, maybe you've been wondering things like, how do I know if my business can handle more work without falling apart? Is now the right time to grow, or should we just stay where we're at? Am I missing something that could blow up if I scale too fast? Do I have the right structure in place to support growth and to be able to grow safely? Maybe you're worried about burning out your team or burning out yourself. You're worried about winning more work, but then losing control of the quality and having that hurt your reputation. Maybe you're concerned about getting stuck in more chaos, having more problems instead of having more freedom, or finding out too late that your systems just weren't strong enough to handle the growth. Well, here's what's surprising. A company studied why successful contractors fail, and they found out two things. Number one, contractors don't starve to death. They get too much work too fast with inadequate resources, and then they run out of cash. The second thing that they learned after studying a couple of hundred successful contractors that failed is that contractors are actually more likely to go bankrupt during a growing economy than during a downturn. So how do you know if your business is ready to scale? How do you know when it's time to hire more team members, to go after another market, to sell more work? Well, that's a big question that a lot of people are grappling with. It's a question I get a lot. So that's why I created an assessment tool to help you answer the question, is your construction business ready to scale? This assessment is free, it's online, and you'll get a customized report showing exactly where your business is strong and where the hidden gaps are that could trip you up. It's the fastest way to get clarity before you put your business and your future at risk. So if you want to take the free assessment to find out, is your construction business ready to scale? The link is in the show notes. The when-then fallacy. Imagine if somebody said, I'd really like to lose some weight. I'd like to look better. Well, okay. What are you thinking? And they proceeded to tell you, well, when I lose 30 pounds, then I'm going to change my diet. Or when I drop some weight, then I'm going to start going to the gym. Or if somebody said, I really want to bulk up my retirement. I want to save more money. I want to be a better steward of my finances. And then they said, yeah, well, when I save up a bunch of money, then I'll really get a budget in place. When I have more money stocked up, then I'll start looking at my investments and getting more serious about making contributions. It doesn't work that way. That's the when-then fallacy. A lot of times we think, well, when this thing happens, then I'll do the thing that will make this thing happen. When my company gets to 10 million in revenue, then I'll start acting like the CEO of a $10 million a year company. The truth is, it's probably not going to happen because growth doesn't change you. You have to go first. As the leader, as the business owner, as the CEO, you have to go first. Growth does not turn you into a CEO. You have to start thinking like a CEO, and then the business grows into what you're capable of leading. You establish the lid. John Maxwell has one of his laws, irrefutable laws of leadership, is the law of the lid. The leader is the lid on the organizations. You start to think like a CEO, and then the business grows into what you are capable of leading. So if you want to grow your business, you have to increase your leadership capability. So here's what I've seen with the CEOs I've worked with who have scaled their company past $10 million. they go first. They start thinking and acting like the $10 million CEO long before they own a $10 million business. They understand that the business will never outgrow their ability to lead it. So you have to go first. You have to change your mindset. And these 5 mindset shifts we've talked about are just the tip of the iceberg, all right? Just the tip of the iceberg. But I just want to give you a taste of how these $10 million a year CEOs think and point out that the builder mindset that got you to this point, wherever you're at, 1 million in revenue, 3 million, 5 million in revenue, will not get you to the $10 million revenue mark and may even make it impossible for you to get there. So if you're wondering, is my business ready to grow? Can it sustain growth? You may be one of these folks that I've seen. You can make it happen. You can make it rain. You can go book the work. You can get the work. But the question is, you may be wondering, yeah, I can get the work, but can I sustain it? Can I execute on the work profitably? Can I do it in a way that doesn't burn me out or put me out of business? So the question shouldn't be, can I get it? The question is, can I sustain it? So if you're wondering, is my business ready to sustain growth? Then your next step would be to go take the growth readiness assessment that I've put together and actually get some data on, is your business ready to grow? Can your business sustain growth? This growth readiness assessment, it's fast, it's free. You'll answer about 30 questions and it'll show you exactly where your business isn't ready to scale so you can fix it before you put too much load on it and it breaks under pressure. So the link to that growth readiness assessment is in the show notes. Now, if you know your business isn't ready to grow, or you know you aren't ready to grow, if you're spending too much time in firefighting, you know you don't have the right systems in place, you know you're leaving money on the table, that there's all this hidden profit in your business that's just bleeding out. And if you're looking for a proven system with the implementation coaching and the accountability you need to take your business to the next level, we can help. We've helped hundreds of construction business owners do this. And the first step is to schedule a free business evaluation call with my team. We only have a few slots available each week. We're very selective about who we work with, and it's not for everybody. So there'll be some more details on how to schedule your business evaluation call in just a moment, and the link is in the show notes. Hey, it's Todd here. One more thing before you go. Remember, if you're dealing with chaos every day, if you're spending too much time in firefighting, if your whole team is in reactive mode, it's probably not your team, it's not your clients, it's not your project, it's not you, it's the gaps. And the biggest gap is the one between signing the contract and starting the job. That's where the details get missed. That's where the stress begins. And the fix is simple. It's a solid pre-construction process so you can nail the handoff from the office to the field. We want to help you build that out. And the first step is to schedule your free business evaluation call. Click the link in the show notes. We're going to help you identify the root cause of your chaos, show you how to unlock the profit that's already in your business, and we'll lay out a plan to help you nail the handoff. And if it makes sense, we'll talk about what working together looks like. So click the link in the show notes to schedule your call with my team. Be advised, calls are very limited and not everybody qualifies for these calls. So go book your call today, and I'll see you next time.